Inshallah and Ashe, streaming a little early today, but it is a talented Tuesday. And our emotional field is doing the dance. The moon, the goddess of the night, is the only planet that visits each season within a season. So it's the flavor, the character, the sensation, these ingredients, they differ. So a Scorpio moon in the season of Virgo is very different than a Scorpio moon in the season of Libra, and so on and so forth. But being that the moon is in Taurus, another friendly earth sign like Virgo and Capricorn, Pluto transiting there, but emotional boundaries, emotional empathy, our sacral energetic center is online. So this is feeling our feelings and separating our feelings from the outer world, the other, asking ourselves, is it me or is it them? Just being aware, emotionally aware of the feels. Emotional boundaries, listening to our feelings, looking into the cosmic soup, into those feelings, and creating sacred space to express the passions, the creations, the feelings that are bubbling through, possibly like a billowing storm cloud. So you may feel a little vulnerable about sharing your new reality, feeling maybe tongue-tied or tied to reality today. The Earth star is bringing our emotions into the nature L field, the moon in Taurus, where the heart, the sun, is in reality, aligning with integrity. So you may have past experiences kind of coming through, along with mapping out, like a puzzle, mapping out, like a map even, how that is now in the moment and even into the future, the gradient future. But being heart-centered crafts a much easier way to separate or differentiate where our emotions are belonging. But know, as our day flows on forward, there may be something emotional that's possibly going to throw off your inner guidance system, the emotional energetic system. So a wise choice, a wisdom choice would be to avoid it if you can, until emotions feel at peace, grounded, stable, even calm, if you can. Sorry, my word just did a freak out. But if you can, just automatically supporting who we are until tomorrow, when our heart and our emotions, the sun and the moon, are going to be more available, more supportive, more protecting, and streaming into a new possibility. So it's important as a main ingredient to allow feelings to be validated, listened to, heard, seen, or even felt, giving them sacred space in all their truth, emotional truths, feeling them authentically, validating them. However, allowing them to determine the future often isn't necessary, but the best way to navigate and discover this emotional field is filling the cosmic soup, the pot, with positive emotions streaming into the future in those conscious river streams. You know mine, if you've been tuning in for a while: peace, love, joy, happiness, and always integrity. But the emotions of yesterday may also be holding our emotional field, giving us sacred space and manifesting the reality we are creating in the season of Virgo. And holding that sacred space, the emotional note, the tone of the feeling, will be the highest vibrational tone that really drives free will, us, or takes us into the future life of what our heart authentically desires. So with that, welcome to today's Daily Snippet. Once again, I am your host, a practicing holistic shaman and medium, an otherworldly life coach, really, and a subtle energetic surgeon. But I do go by the term holistic Sha medium, which is a merging of it all. And my intention is to utilize the indigenous technologies along with the elemental realms, our original divine blueprint, to navigate our soul's harmonic through these realms, elemental, imaginal, into and through the shaman's gateway or portal, the eighth energetic center, the cosmos with the subtle realms, and so much more, with offerings, rituals, and prescriptions, the otherworldly kind, the medicine kind there, to really add to your juice, the sauce of your main ingredients, your personal container. Within those ingredients, your personal medicine, your prime directive, just really assisting you in discovering your innate inner genius, your personal medicine, the star that I believe we all are. Really reintroducing you to the magical being, the essence of who you are that resides within, so that your light shines even brighter. My name is Tanya D, and welcome to my virtual medicine room. And if you have yet to subscribe to my channel, please do, YouTube or otherwise. Referring a friend, liking and sharing, even commenting, authentically heartfelt in that corridor. So it's Tanya D on YouTube. It's my Musing with Tanya D podcast. 6 years and beyond with that, I might add. And also on Instagram and some private groups where I am streaming probably right now as well. And a big shout out to the village, the community, to my new subscribers, Ahhhh, as always, and blessings. Thank you for joining me. And let's give a shout out to those of you that have been part of my journey since the beginning. I see you, I hear you, and I should say I feel you. Gratitude out to you as well. And also, if you don't mind, go ahead and hit the bell button so you too are notified. And again, remember, a comment and a share does get you a message for your day to get you on your way. And it really helps with the algorithm to get echoed out to other like-minded musers in the galactic universe who enjoy insights of the other world, the world of spirit, the elemental source, the cosmos, and really so much more. And again, you can find me on TikTok, which is actually pretty hilarious, I might say, and fun. Any TikTokers out there? But if your soul does wish to dive on deeper, or is nudging you to dive on deeper into the realms of the other world, head on over to my Musing Corridor. This is my library in the sky, a digital library in the sky, I may add. It's a venue where you have some amazing options to assist you, to guide you, a private sacred circle, a community, a village to utilize as well. I am your otherworldly shamanic assistant. You truly are your own healer, but sometimes we just need an otherworldly life coach assistant, a perspective, a different view to get us on our way. And with that, just a few announcements on this talented Tuesday. And of course, your options coming up here. We've got Saturn, Chiron, and Mercury. Those are your choices for the messages that'll stream in. But just a few announcements to get us actually on our way. I do have the Witcher's Way to Manifestation, monetizing our medicine and magnifying our manifestations, coming up this Thursday. If you have yet to register, the link is in the show notes. And also coming soon is our meditation circle, always the first Sunday of the month. You can also join in for that. It's going to be dedicated to the season of Libra. And my latest podcast, Chiron, the healing of our wounds, the angelic beings who also assist us. That's kind of what I believe, depending on where Chiron is in your natal chart and where it's transiting now. You can call in an angelic being to assist you with your wounds. And if your soul is nudging you, your prime directive, that inner genius, our personal medicine, is calling out for a one-on-one, the art of cowrie shell divination. This is actually, it was brought to the West by Elder Malidoma Pratis Some of the Dagar tribe in Dano, Burkina Faso, West Africa. He is an African shaman who brought this ancient art, this wisdom, these indigenous technologies to the West. And I've been a protege, a student of elders, and I continue to be of soul service to this wisdom, these technologies. But your personal medicine, discovering your inner genius, and just know that ritual is literally food for our soul. Rituals for the goddess of the night, the waters, the keepers of the wild, the shrines, the earth, nature, the elementals, the realm of our ancestors, the cosmic debris, those energetic hiccups. So things happen for us, not necessarily to us, but the main arena of interest in a divination is the realm of our ancestors, the ancestor realm. And then we literally dive deeper into the forces of adversity to see where things are playing out. You may just find out that you're the cleanup crew, the janitor of your family, your lineage, your timeline in this carnation. That does happen, so be sure to schedule a session if your soul is nudging you to invest in your personal medicine, this inner genius, and I will be of soul service to you and for you. So we have moved into the last phases of the season of Virgo. This is our higher heart. It's the long pour, thank you, Johnny Depp, where we are manifesting our intentions into a fluidity of reality. It's the sun and the moon, using emotions or feelings as these main ingredients and just taking it up a notch, the fluidity of it, our intentions to our highest otherworldly potentials, maybe creating a future path, a doorway, which streams over and into the next 6 months, into the season of Pisces. So we're creating our future to become manifested, and our emotional field is streaming at this higher elevated octave. the reality that we intend to manifest, who we have maybe who we have been in the past, who we are becoming right now. We're going to percolate and things are going to be coming to the surface. So it's also what's our intention to manage these feelings, literally massaging them into a positive flow, a positive direction, sitting with our sacred waters. However, we must first kind of identify the feelings, whatever they are, whether they're negative, confusing, maybe they're not even irrelevant, they don't even make any sense, and just forgiving them so that they dissipate, they dissolve, and they kind of relax into those streams of peace, those sacred waters. And then identify what our future feelings look like and feel like. What does our heart identify with? What does it want to grow into the future? What seeds do you want to plant? Those emotional seeds, the emotional security, and giving space and time to those feelings to protect them so they can flourish, they can burst through in a positive, passionate light, moving and going forward. So what does that look like? So if you feel good about where you are now and your potentials and your future, you kind of need to create boundaries. That's going to be the necessity kind of way to remain feeling positive. So sometimes we need to keep our feelings to ourselves, for example, or separate them. Like, is this me or is this them? Kind of feeling through the feels, releasing the negative ones. I always like to hold on to my favorites and just identifying and protecting, giving sacred space to the positive ones. Love and light, right? With that. But on the elemental highway, which I also find curious, we've got a Yin Earth Snake of a day, 2 Yin Earths up there. But we have a dry earth snake, if you will. Kind of reminds me of a rattlesnake. I don't know. Snakes always have mesmerizing eyes. If you're a snake out there, their eyes are just mesmerizing. They're usually this translucent kind of color. My mom had a snake, and I have some friends with snake eyes, which is kind of curious and interesting, right? But Yin Earth is the soil. 2 Yin Earths, so those are friends. They get along, real friends, siblings without rivalry, if you will. Anybody have that? I know a few peeps who siblings are their friends. They travel with their siblings. I don't have that, of course. But look at the balance between the yin and the yang. Yang water is wealth coming to our day. The tiger would be a manager or a leader with ideas. The tiger is kindness. Fire represents taking those ideas, the tiger, to the snake with passion. And we have action as a resource for our yin earth. But fire and nature, herbs. Herbs are actually the best for a yin earth person as far as healing, along with nature. But dry earth and water, yin water, a nice rain, moving water would be great as well as far as an asset to ground into those elemental options. But the month, we've got a super god, which is a friend indeed, those authentic friends. So that's great. We got 2 of them streaming in from the heavenly realm, really. This means bonding relationships, bonding friendships. And the year god or talent is the communicator. Water is a communicator as well. So this is storytelling, it's persuasion. So this would be an excellent kind of high efficient energy. It's a great day for selling, acting, writing, and other artistic creative skills if you're an artist out there. Even being a motivational speaker, start writing a book, a best-selling author. Usually talented in all kinds of artistic activities, sewing, arts and crafts, and just enjoying the art of entertainment and the inspiration, inspiring others. So maybe a friend communicates through artistry today. And the snake, just so you know, is the birth of metal. The rooster is the metal. So at the hour of the ox, we're going to have a metal trine. So this is decisions, managing skills. It's the performance for our day is the metal. So that's kind of interesting because Yin Earth houses Yin Metal. So with that, yesterday, onto the messages. The Fae were online even after the show, just saying that. But being our emotional field is percolating, I kind of went with the ethereal messages. So again, your options, your choices. We've got Saturn, Chiron, and Mercury, who's retrograde. The collective consciousness might be holding those streams, a force, a venue. But go ahead and comment your option. And we've got great cards today. I'm just saying that. Great messages. Okay, so If you chose Mercury, look what you got. First up, we have the Chariot. I don't know if you can tell. We've had this card actually last week as well, but it's the 7. So Spirit is online. Divine messages. Neptune in Pisces. The Earth is in Pisces in the season of Virgo. But the Chariot, she's this embodiment of the Nike goddess. I had to look this up. Or a Maeve, right? So she's following the stream of tears, the flow from the sky above. She's carrying the wind of pride. She's trusting in herself. And she's summoning the sea unicorns from the deep and the frothiness of the sea. So they're voluntarily, I don't know if you've ever met unicorns, but they're voluntarily submissive despite their kind of haughty nature, if you will. They bow to her purity. You can see it's charismatic. The wheels of the Chariot, they're taming this hysteria of the sea. So we've got these magnificent waves. They're pouring down. They're actually pouring otherworldly. And they're roaring with the power of the sea, this initiation. So she's still casually leading the unicorns through this spectacular trail. And these waves are continuing to tilt and their heads are twisting. They're creating the smooth and glowing passageway. But this tranquility is practicality. It's hidden within the eternal movement, mixing with the conscious part from the depths. And below, you can see the spirits of the ocean whispering about the god of the sea. Not necessarily Neptune, that's the ocean, but the god of the sea, that's Neptune's brother. And in the circular movement of these colorful waters, this ethereal dance is greeted with a person with willpower, control, the ability, who's capable of overcoming anything and anyone, even the wildness and the madness of the sea. But the Chariot refers to winning by overcoming those obstacles, concentrating on one's will, and establishing unity. The singers of the realms, just full of this confidence. Kind of reminds me of the solar plexus. Maybe that's why I chose Mercury. I don't know. Maintaining discipline, taking on control, the power, and steering your own ship, being decisive in that steering, and just being steadfast, going back to the original divine purpose. And just knowing that the control must be exercised in constant flow of the body, emotions, situations, along with a thin outer shell where heaven and the sea are meeting. It's otherworldly. And we've got the flow of pressure created by the push and the pull of the force. These are the opposing forces of air and water. It's being maintained. It's leading us to the successful path, which is really essential to get the confidence and the knowledge to be able to walk on the road, the rough roads ahead, or clear with purpose, having determination, willpower, control, success, peace of our soul, even having independent thinking, being skillful, achievements, the purpose of life, maybe journey, positive news, being a victory, recognition, leadership, maybe even a conflict of interest, but the balance of conflicting emotions, communicating. Even in Greek mythology, Nike is the goddess of speed and victory, also known as the winged goddess of victory. So Nike and her siblings are close friends to Zeus. I don't know if you ever played with those. I used to love the gods there, but they act as the charioteer, like a cheerleader for Zeus. So people often see images of her with wings flying around the battlefield, rewarding winners in glory and fame. But at the same time here, Nike is controlling those 2 white unicorns. And unicorns, they're a mysterious animal in a lot of myths. It's said that only noble-minded people with impure thoughts can control the unicorn, the purity, the whiteness, right? So these haughty little unicorns decided to subdue those who they deemed worthy. So the goddess Nike controlling these 2 unicorns, which I found fascinating, riding on these waves. I actually wrote a book with some sea unicorns. I won't get into that, but riding these waves without even holding the reins can show an image of a mighty female warrior, a high priestess in a way, with the power of will and spirit. She's controlling these unicorns to cross the sea, and she's just surpassing, gliding through thousands of high waves without any fear. And she even used these waves as a favorable condition to help her move forward faster and further. So just knowing the Chariot has appeared, it means that we are entering a period of time where we cannot control everything around us, even ourselves. So you may feel a little bewildered by the choices and the twists and the turn, but with our inner will, our divine perspective, our divine authenticity, and our confidence in our own personal abilities, we can completely overcome these obstacles. So it's a message that also shows a high concentration in what we do, no longer paying attention to our surroundings. But the chariot was also willing to give up the outside world to go deeper into the inner world. So we've got that yin and yang energy today through the image of our own turning away from the modernity of civilization, the civilized world, to reach the vast, endless sea. So being that it's appeared, you know, if you have a question related to love, this is associated with the Cancer zodiac astrology sign. That also associates with this card. So maybe you tend to think about your lover all the time. Maybe you're focusing on cultivating love, purity, putting all of your mind and time into that relationship. Maybe you're completely ignoring everyone else too. But it also shows sincerity. It's affection and love. But it's not really good for us to allow it to own our personal life. We may get too dependent on love and neglect other obligations and duties. The other parts of the pie, education, work, our relationship, society, not to mention that it will make our partner feel more suffocated. Also, when you give up your world for love, you're going to have nothing more if you lose that person, right? We kind of get in entanglements. So when we draw the chariot, we should review our concerns and try to balance everything in life. But if the chariot appears as maybe a deadlock to a problem, it's a message not to worry too much about an unpredictable future. Instead, just slow everything down so you can relax after a time of maybe anxiety, high levels of thought and concentration. It really is like taking time for ourselves and listening to our heart, and don't try to control everything anymore. But overall, it just represents the best things are yet to come. You can reap the fruits of your labors and your planting of those many seeds and just freely enjoying the performance that you've made so far. But you should not fall asleep on your victory either. You know, sometimes we do lose relationships, and that's what's going to happen if sometimes we boast too much and spread our achievements as this endless hobby. Humility will help you get more respect and admiration from everybody. But it really is a message that's advising us to be careful in our words, which I can see that with Mercury retrograde. We've got Mars and Gemini. So actions to avoid, you know, we don't need unnecessary pieces of slander with our words. But you can see the image. It's majestic. It's powerful. You know, other cards have the sphinxes. It's generally a man holding a staff, wearing a crown. But the most obvious meaning is this maturity. It's leading the way to the sphinxes, in this case, the unicorns, to a destination. So helping us maybe realize our shortcomings, focusing all of our energy, our mind and spirit to achieve a goal. It's encouraging us to overcome these barriers in order to target into the bullseye of greater things. And it's carrying a positive signal or a sigil about work. So besides love, the message is about personal victories. Just make sure that you put in all your efforts, and success is going to be on our side. So this is kind of like the heavens coming to earth. It's a spiritual message. Neptune landing in reality, Virgo, which I also find curious. So now the next message, if you chose Saturn, let's go with that. You get Judgment, which is awesome. Who doesn't love this card? Look how pure it is, right? But it's 20. It's the energy of our day. So see how magical all this plays out. On the day of judgment, we've got an angel that appears. It echoes out the explosion of spiritual truths. And all souls get to rise after the call and come together to present all of their accomplishments to be judged, and letting the soul be purified in the holy light and the fire to become purity, become pure. So it's really important to take time to consider everything very carefully. This is also the right time to reevaluate every stage of your past life, to recognize and review with an objective, honest thought to yourself, I would say being spiritual truths, honest. So each action results in a certain outcome, either good or bad. in order to be rewarded or realized. It's what's needed for remission, forgiveness, purification, even redemption. I see the blue there, but there is this transition period into the next stage, a rebirth, sincerity, serenity, really, peace. It's kind of the necessity, if you will, to start over. But the judgment also, it's about liberation, renewal, forgiveness, the dawn, new beginnings, coping with decisions, recognizing, forgiving, awakening again, the mysteriousness of birth and death. Sometimes it seems harsh, maybe difficult to face. It's very necessary, though, to decide and make judgments, right? But the voice of fate whispers and summons us from within. So it's very important to listen to this undeniable echo, the call, and to act on it. Be aware of what needs to end at this time. But it's also, it's innovation, it's psychological crisis, maybe it's transition, regeneration, adaptation, transformation, it's healing, it's promotion, it's rebirth. So maybe you can see there's a poppy, it's a symbol of sleep and death, sometimes a gift for death, like blood, their colors stain through the fields, it's vibrant, it's beautiful. And the land is filled with this delicacy mixed with crimson and gold and butterflies, hummingbirds, just fluttering with the spirits towards the land of the soul, Hades in a way. But there's this boundless and endless green zone, a zone, if you know what I'm talking about, but the green zone waiting in the distance. So judgment is a message of results. It gives decisions about life's problems, our relationships, and it's so magical. It often appears when our life is about to go through some big changes. Sometimes it's the transition in a relationship, the beginning of work after a hard day. But it does mean big change. It marks the time when all of our efforts are going to pay off, be it a perfect or even a worse result. It's all perspective. But all of our decisions at this stage are directly going to affect the success or failure of our future streams. So on a positive note, it's reassuring that all of our success is literally up to us and that you are the only one who can make that final judgment. On the opposing side, it's like, what are we aiming for? Maybe it's not worth anything. Maybe we don't gain anything after these relentless efforts. So this is a stage of emotional challenges. So it's time for us to clarify what we want from life or from our relationships, and then proceed, carry those emotions forward to actually do it. So if you are looking for love, a new relationship, that's likely to come in the very near future, but you need to be careful to make sure you are not making too many conclusions, positive or negative, about your new love or vice versa, just slowly but surely. And if you are in a relationship, this implies that all of the fruits of love are going to come from here. Your decisions are going to lead to a result that's possibly hard to change. Maybe there's conflicts or arguments that are necessary. They're kind of indispensable in this moment, in this period. But if you both have empathy, because the sacral's online for each other, the relationship will turn to a new page, a new chapter that can lead to something fulfilling, like a marriage. And even on the other side, sometimes we know stubbornness of both can completely destroy, take the tower down in a relationship. So just kind of be careful to minimize different errors as possible, down to the minute details, Virgo energy, right? So we can reap sweet fruits of our hardworking period. So if you're applying even for a job, read the fine print, right? But it's also that our efforts may vanish if we're negligent. So the judgment sends the most important message. This is caution. It brings great signals about financial situations, maybe recovering from large sums of money after maybe doing some risky investments. So if you're waiting for funds from personal income, it's going to come quickly. It's going to fulfill your pocket. A lot of money is going to come, but that just means their origin must be clearly defined. But it also warns of unclear or illegal funds that can make you plunge without the brakes and kind of ruin your reputation. So be sure to take that breath and that pause, be in that sacred space. Don't rush in to break rules. Otherwise, you're going to pay for that on the other side of the coin. So it's really just a positive card kind of streaming in, but the message kind of advises us to learn to live in peace and integrity. And it's an important time to leave the past behind and the wrong things that others have done to you, especially if you're struggling with anything, leaving it behind, that's going to make or want to be, that's going to make you want to be told that what you did was right to really help you feel better. But just let it flow, get in the flow so you can regain your energy and just pay attention to your body. Virgo energy is the body. So it's just an announcement. It's an awareness. It's a position that we need to do what we need to do to succeed. So it's kind of like maybe you're at a critical mass, a moment. Maybe you need an awakening, maybe realizing mistakes that you've been making. So it's like just going straight to a conclusion. You should stop maybe. And if others are doing the same, or your beloved ones, just accept it. Realize it's not your problem. It's theirs. Kind of stay away. But interesting, I'd say, all in all, with all of that. But I'm loving that the judgment showed up on a day where we are at that same frequency. Okay, and if you chose Chiron, you get the world, our final message. So this is great. This is an emotional fluid day. It comes from the world. The world is our oyster. It's the moon. It's the sun. Virgo, Taurus, heart, emotions, created heartfelt beliefs and wishes. But we've got this rhythm of murmuring life flowing through every corner of nature, which if you know me, nature is my field. I sleep outside every day, even during the rain. It's a magical moment. But in the life, you know, where there is this existence of death that's past, every leaf, we're in the fall, every tree, every creature, from the smallest insect to the greatest wells, which if you join me for The Witcher, we're going to be talking about wells. With the pictures they weave from birth to death and creating this endless spin, this recalibration, just vibrating with each beat of life and just resonating uniformly according to the symphony, the orchestra, by the greatest of source energy, commander. So everything's in this excellent oppositional harmony, which is really the basic characteristic of this homogeneous balance of different individuals, beings, and otherwise. You can see she's placed a crown of light, inner light, on her forehead and on her chest. I don't know if you can see that, but they're bubbling in there. But there's this bra, if you will, of truth. So she's searching deep inside and she's feeling the flow of life through her body and her soul. So she's touching it, and it seems that this physical presence, the physical body, exists inside of her heart. It's elegant. It's very powerful. Maybe you can see those invisible webs. I dreamt about webs last night, which was interesting. Just sprawled out in the mind. So it's like, let's weave more higher and farther away so she can feel all the surrounding things, the delicate sensations, the bird soaring, being clearly aware of the correlations to adjust this free-flying wings and these essential balance to follow the wind. You even got the kiss of the sun spreading over, you know, the morning dew, the foliage, the branches, the stream of water. It slowly eroded the rock surface over time and space. So there's no past, no present, no future, only the rhythm of the beat, which is constantly pulsing from the moment of the first bright dot of the universe, the golden sun. It's going to go on. It's continue to beat until infinity and unity. It was this eternal moment of reality, this interconnected network of burning through her veins of the earth. Reminds me of the tree of life in a way, but she's awakened to this peaceful happiness within her heart. So the world refers to tranquility, contentment, fulfillment in our mind, our thoughts, the ultimate success, signs of an end, a balance, just mixing together to bring the tonalities of all these countless melodies into life. So it's a message of defining our goals and successes. It's a state of accomplishment through sharing work and hard work to even receive, reaping what we sow. So when our goals are accomplished, there's sometimes feel like there's a void, a still breath of the moment. It exists when the feeling of accomplishment touches into the consciousness. So it's this precious and wonderful moment. It's the highest point of work to see our dreams come to fruition, come true, and understand the mysterious treasures, the mystical, the imaginal that appear in those fairy tales, the fae, the desire that's hidden deep within each and every one of us. This is really about completion. It's harmony. It's excitement. It's being satiated, fullness, freedom, liberation, peace, success, enlightenment. It's a beginning. So the world is opening us up to this positive, enlightened future. It's coming to us. It's otherworldly. It's a message of completeness. It just means that we are at the end of one journey and we're about to enter a new phase. So the world embodies all of the ambitions. It kind of reminds me of the 11th house in a way, and our dreams of our life that have also come true. So the world is bringing a message of rewards and success and achievements that we've made in order so we can relax, take some time and space. Sometimes it does represent movement. So you may be able to kind of move or travel to a new city, a country. But the good news really is that the world rarely carries a negative frequency or vibration or message. It's trying to console us. We're going to step onto a podium of our own glory. Sometimes these new beginnings in our life and relationships, it's like change. Change is not necessarily what we want sometimes, but the world, you can see there's this lady dancing in the center, which represents kind of like Libra, the balance and the dynamicness, being dynamic, otherworldly, just surrounding the details, the plants, the flowers, the ribbons. It all represents success and victory, the animals. That's the harmony between energy and sources, between different realms and dimensions. So the world shows literally a positive outcome. It's completion, showing the connection between oneself or the oneness and the surrounding entities, the worlds. It's this rhythmic dance. It's like rising of our joy molecules, the joys, and just embracing the sorrows. But it's also completion. So it's a stage where we're going to enjoy the results that we've created. We're at this amazing passing of a milestone in life with the Great Spirit. So we've got some great messages today, I would say. So it's a day to really tune into our feelings, separating things from the past and from the potential futures, our future potentials, protecting our positive feelings and emotions, and just releasing the rest to dissipate. And once we've separated those ingredients, our feelings, and sorted them out, and we've also protected them, we are safe in our container, we may begin to feel great for where our future is headed. I'm doing great, right? I've been saying that for over a year. We're moving forward. We're moving towards those sensations, being our emotions becoming real. So you're literally going to be able to feel your consciousness literally elevating and heading into a certain direction. And you can gauge your future kind of like a gas gauge in a car, to the future of where we're heading in the end of the season here. So from here on out, each day, we're going to be kind of modifying our feelings. So just pay attention, I would say, to what you're feeling today, what's streaming in. It's okay to have joy molecules. It's okay to love yourself. Actually, I think we should love ourselves more. And also, you know, just the peace, the tranquility, feeling good. What's so bad about feeling great? So with the elements and the messages and the cosmic highway, our sacral center, our high heart, our earth star, our shaman's portal, we have the moon in Taurus, I would affirm that I'm allowing, or I'm streaming all of my positive emotions or feelings to be manifesting the reality of my future. It's like holding that signature seed note of the feeling and carrying it into the galactic future, at least 6 months, if you can hold that prime ingredient. And again, the Witcher's way to magnify your manifestations, magnifying them. We're going to begin with the foundation, cleansing the energetic spheres, going into the center of the center, the subtle centers, the chakras of our energy chalices, of the in and the out of body energy centers, and then into the language of our emotional field, which we are streaming into the cosmos with now, right? But it's the reality of our emotions, and maybe experiencing or releasing an outdated limiting belief that's been holding you back. It's in the way of your manifestations, your creations. Our mind is a tool, right? So with all of that, thanks for tuning in. I was a little wordy today. I think I cracked myself up, but I will see you on the other side. Ashe and blessings. Great to see you, and yeah, enjoy your day. Ashe.